Ho everyone, and welcome to this Terran early expansion tutorial. This is a build order that has been popularized big time by TheLittleOne. Basically just a huge celebrity in the StarCraft 2 beta, carrying over into the release obviously. Usually when I'm doing new strategies or I'm testing something that I've read online, always play against the computer. I put it on very hard. Insane, at least at my skill, is I can beat it, but I really have to have my build order down solid and know what I'm doing. So very hard mode is pretty obtainable for me. I can usually put the computer down on very hard mode within 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how loose I play. This strategy is more for a Protoss opponent. I have won games against Zerg and Terran opponents. I'm only in Gold League, so take that for what it's worth. But this is definitely designed for a Protoss opponent, simply because against Zerg, I would just be really skeptical of using this. I mean, the Zerg opponents that I did play ended up being random, so I didn't know they were going to be Zerg. But if they had Zergling rushed me, I probably would not have survived. It's just basically, instead of going for a large army in the beginning, you're going for economic superiority, which you'll soon see. So my computer opponent is on very hard, spawning as the blue Protoss. I'm going to get up some gateways, pretty standard build. Don't really have to block off my ramp here. It's a Protoss opponent, not a big deal, but it's just kind of habit for me on these smaller ramps. I like these smaller ramps, they're easy to block off. But basically, I posted the build order in the post, in the YouTube description. Pretty much going for bare bones army up front. You're scouting early, scouting on 15 supply. Very important to scout, because that will tell you what you need to go. Do you need to go 3 barracks, which is pretty standard opening for this build anyway, or do you want to transition to some fort or to some factories, or whatever the case may be. So I do pick the wrong option. One of 3 could be here, it could be here. Obviously it's here, but I do find them eventually. So basically I'm just going to keep pumping out Marines, and here's my command center. It's going up. I'm going to lift it off. I always build, always build within your base. That way, let's just say he brings up, he's Zerg, he brings up 4 Zerglings. You know what, my 2 Marines are going to be able to hold this off. Not going to be able to harass me, not going to be able to kill my SCV that's building this command center. But if I had brought my SCV over here to build the command center in place, chances are he could harass me. It's just better to build within your base, within the security of your own base. Lift it off and put it into place once it's secure. The backbone, as you'll see here in a minute, of this early defense is going to be a bunker. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and lift it off. There goes the bunker right there. Place 4 Marines in it. Now this build does require pretty... you have to be pretty confident with your micro abilities, because you're going to have to be repairing, you're going to have to be moving troops around, cycling them in and out. If this troop is low on energy, bring him to the back so that these guys take the brunt of the battle. You really need to practice this before you go against a human opponent. But, so I go ahead and I get the scan in, I can see what he's going for. If this was a human opponent and I saw he was fast expanding, or I don't know, going for Colossus or something, then I'm definitely not going to want to mass up on Marines, which is what I'm doing right now. Most Protoss opponents that I personally play against human, they go Void Rays. I guess it's the gold member status thing to do. I don't know, but I see a lot of Void Ray Protoss players in my league, so I'm pretty accustomed to going Marines. But basically, once you get this expansion, this fast expansion strategy, you get this bunker, get some Marines, get a little bit of a defense, you're pretty open to do whatever you want. The strategy is only really an opening strategy. you have to play constantly scouting, whether you're scanning or sending in SCVs, whatever. You know, I'm using these Zelnaga towers so that I can see these guys coming, which this is my vision right now, so I can see these blue guys coming in. So I've got these SCVs set on auto repair. Yeah, these Marines are gonna die. There's a pretty decent sized Protoss army here. But here in a minute you'll see what I'm talking about with micro. I mean, it's just, you know, here in just a second, it looks like I'm going to lose this battle. I go ahead and I bring in some SCVs. I'm going to use these as fodder here in a second, I do believe. But these Marines are going to basically hold off this attack. Yes, I am down to bare bones, but you know what? I mean, my opponent, he does have some stalkers, but they're way down here. And I've got more Marines on the way. You know, I've got 3 barracks with 7 more Marines on the way. Didn't really hurt my economy. I mean, you can see here, I do actually still have more harvesters than my opponent does. Gonna go ahead and double up on the barracks here, or on the bunkers, just in case he does decide to bring more zealots. It's just a precautionary measure. You know what? If I end up not needing them, I can always recycle them and get all of my gold back, or all my minerals back. So here I did make the mistake where I was managing my troops up here for this battle. I got supply locked, 38 of 38. This is the one nice thing about this build. You see here, I'm at 38 of 38, but I have 1 single supply depot. That's because as soon as this Orbital Command finished building, I used this extra supplies to go ahead and pop it up here. So it gives me 2 command centers plus that supply depot with the extra supplies. I go ahead and call it in here, and suddenly I'm up to 62. 62 with 2 supply depots. I'm saving myself 100 minerals each time, plus the build times, whatever that end up coming to. I don't remember off the top of my head. What is it? 30 seconds. So I saved myself a minute worth of build time, plus 200 minerals just by using the extra supplies. Most Terran people that I play with or against, I see them using all of their resources to call in these mules. I mean, in my opinion, mules, they definitely help out. There's no doubt about that. But having the ability to scan or for extra supplies, to me, trumps the mule. Now, I did call on a mule here. I'm trying to pump out Marines as fast as I can. But if I was trying to tech up, I would not be wasting my energy on mules. I'd be going for something along the lines of extra supplies, so that I don't have to waste my SCV time building supply depots and my gold or my minerals building supply depots. They're just there. It really does help out a lot. I mean, I can't stress it enough. If you actually give it a shot, legitimate try, you will be surprised at how useful it is. So my Protoss opponent, not really doing much. I mean, again, this is on very hard mode. Unless I made a mistake. I'm positive I put it on very hard mode. But he is going to go ahead and move out. Again, this is just AI. I mean, they're so predictable. You could almost set an egg timer to the when you're going to be attacked by an AI opponent. But again, it is nice to practice your build order on. Get your build order down so that you don't even have to look down at your piece of paper. It's just instinct. You just got it ready to go. So again, here, having these Zelnaga towers, here's my view. I can see these guys coming clear as day. They just don't stand a chance. I go ahead and stem up. A typical strategy isn't to select all in stem. That's going to take away, because stem takes away 10 of the unit's life, which is basically 1/5 of a Marine's life. Unless you get that shield, which is almost the combat shield, which is almost up for me. If you got a big group, a big bio ball as they call it, I would generally select just a small amount. Like maybe these guys back here to do the stemming, so that these guys up here basically serve as kind of a meat shield, while these guys back here are just jacked and just pumping away at these whatever you're fighting. If you're in an oh crap moment, obviously you want to select them all, stem up, and just hope for the best. But it's generally good practice not to select your entire army in stem, because you're basically defeating your entire army by 20% each time you do that. So, 1/5. Simple math. But, well, your Marauder's a little bit different. But anyway, going back to this mode, my opponent finally starting to expand. Again, this strategy, I'm probably taking it too far. If you're still watching, I'm just going to go ahead and speed it up. It gets kind of boring. As you can see here, it's basically a 22-minute fight. Should have been over a lot sooner. I have been drinking, so forgive my my brain farts along the way. I'm pretty much just dinking around here. I'm going to go ahead and get this extra expansion. I even do this against human opponents, not just predictable AI. I mean, you know what? If he does come up here and destroy this, I can always cancel it. I think you get 75% of your minerals back or something like that. Not a big deal. It's worth the risk to try to get this extra expansion up here. I can see him if he tries to move out here. I'm getting another expansion. So I can see him, as you see right here, I can see him coming. I can react to it. He's coming after my expansion, but I'm not going to allow it to happen. So this is going to pay off. This is going to pay big time dividends for me. I can get 2 more Vespene, 4 more Vespene geysers, and a lot more minerals. As you see here, starting to get pretty low. This is really, really saturated. Just economic superiority. I mean, here you got 52 harvesters for me and 26 I have double the number of harvesters that my opponent has, and that's really the difference in the game here. It just equals defeat. I should be attacking right now. Again, old Jack Daniels is whispering in my ear, so wasn't really paying as much attention as I should. But I did want to make this strategy. Hopefully it helps out some fellow Terran players, or maybe if you play Protoss and you notice this starting to happen, then you kind of have an idea of what to look for. Who knows? Go ahead and speed it up ×4 just to hurry up and get this match over with. Obviously I end up winning, but should have been over long before now. As you can see, my minerals, I've got 1600 and climbing, 1000 gas, to my opponent's 70 and 300. I mean, the harvesters are making the difference. I have 76 harvesters to my opponent's 26. And here's the other thing too. APM, look at my opponent. Obviously, AI, opponent's going to be superhuman, or I'm sorry, APM is going to be superhuman. It's peaking out here at 500 APM, average of 242. My average is 51, and I'm destroying this opponent. And that doesn't just happen on AI opponents either. I've had many games where I've played opponents that basically their opener is they just sit there and spam their buttons. From the get-go, they're getting 300, 400 APM just by spamming it as fast as they can. And I just kind of take my time and do the build that I know I need to do, and usually results in a win. So there's the GG. Computer gives up, realizes it can't do anything. I wish more humans were like that. But I hope this tutorial may have showed you a couple of things, and I'll try to get more posted as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.